Welcome back to the Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles channel. This is my last penny box from when we were on vacation last year, 2024. We go up to Vermont, and where we go is right on the border of New Hampshire. So this one here is from the West Lebanon branch, Muskoma Bank. So I have Muskoma, West Lebanon, New Hampshire. Let's pop it open. I'll be right back. So as you saw from that intro, we have a penny box out of New Hampshire, West Lebanon, still sealed. Let's see what's going on the inside. We have circulated, or is it a box of 2024s? Imagine. Lots of glue, typical. Looks circulated. There we go. There's so much glue. There's some right here on the roll. All right, I don't see any wheat enders jumping out at me. What's this, a 2023? Is that a 23? Yeah, 2023. So let's get into this hunt. Per usual, I will do 10 rolls 5 times. I will bring you in if I come across something really cool. Otherwise, I'll bring you in 5 times for the 10 roll wrap up. Let's get into this hunt. I'll be right back. Working on roll number 2, group number 1. Under the scope, I have a 2015. Yeah, there. And we have a sweet DDO. I want to say this is number 6, extreme extra thickness and doubling. You can see it on the date. You can see it in Liberty. It has notching, shift, and in the D of God, we, and trust. That is an awesome variety. See that there. And the reverse, actually in pretty good shape. Let's keep her going. Be back with the next find. Group number 1, 10 rolls, has been hunted. Up top we have some Canadians. 1984, 1989, 1995, a couple of 2009s here. We have the Professional Life and Presidency. Down here we have a 1953 and a secondary 1953. Here I have a 2018 that's got some toning to it that I held aside. I have a 2015 here, which is DDO number 6, best of variety on Wexlers. And under the scope, I have a 2006, which is DDO number 15. And you can see the notching right here, right there, there, and there. Possibly a little bit in the B. Right there. But that's a 2006 DDO 015. Alright, so this we have for group 1. Let's get into group 2. I'll be right back. Working on those 10 rolls, I didn't think the copper cup was going to be that great, but lifting it, it feels average. So I'll say like 340s, 350s. Let's see. 319. I was wrong. 319.3. Let's get into group note. I'm hitting it with my phone. Let's get into group 2. I'll be back with the finds. So I'm working on roll number 3 for group number 2. And I have a 1964 Denver under the scope. And I just can't seem to find the exact match. The closest I've come, which could be it, but I'm not sure, is DDR number 30 on doubledie.com. So we'd have doubling in the U, and then up top here, the N, the I, the top of the T. But if I come down this way, you can see it at the bottom of the O, the bottom of the N. You can see it pretty good right there, right here and here. The bottom of the E, the C over here, the E over here, the bottom of the N again on both sides, and really not so much on the T. I can't really see much on FG. It's kind of like non-existent. Just either like the toning is affecting it. There it is there, but not. Can't really make out much with it. So I can't tell which one this is. I'm trying to look for die markers. But if any of you know, just by looking at it, you can say, hey, I know which one that is. Let me know down in the comments. Let me switch it over to, I thought that was a mark by the E right here, but I think that's just toning or like a stain. Don't really see anything jumping out at me. Let's see the obverse. Here's the date. Liberty. Lincoln's mug. And In God We Trust. All right, let's keep her going. It's still cool. We got a DDR 1964 Denver, actually in pretty decent condition too. Be back with the next find. Working on group number 2, roll number 6, and I did already see this. We have a Wheatie, and it's an oldie. We got a 1909, baby. Not the VDB. I don't think I could see that. I don't see VDB down there. But still, we got a 1909. That's incredible. Let me zoom out a little bit here. 1909 on the board. Not in terrible shape. Still got some detail. 1909 looks good. I don't believe we have a variety. That's awesome. Wow, I wasn't expecting that when I flipped it over. Thought it was just a regular wheat. All right, let's keep it going. Be back with the next find. Group 2 has been hunted. We have a Canadian cent that I think was put into a vise. It's the same pattern on both sides. But we have a 1973. 82, 85, and an 89. I was just watching a CAD roll hunter video the other day, and there is a pointed 5 and a blunt 5. This one looks like the blunt 5. Okay. We have a couple of 09s, early childhood and presidency. That's the first design, and that is the last design. Right here, I have a 2000. It is not a wide AM. But I don't know. I'm looking at the reverse on this, and the letters they look fatter to me. So if you see, like, right in here, almost looks like a notch, a notch, a notch. It's kind of divoted at the top. The E looks weird and fat. So does the D. You see the top and bottom curl of the first S compared to the second S. The bottom curl on the second S is fatter. That E right there isn't as thick as that E. E pluribus looks a little off to me. Like the I and the R kind of look notched right in here and right in there. I did check Wexler's. Actually, the U down here looks a little notched, but I didn't find anything on Wexler's. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Am I just seeing things, or could that be a double die? Let me just kind of go around the whole thing a little bit. That E right there. It could just be shadowing, could be dirt. I don't know, but it looks off to me. All right, so I'll put that aside. We do have some wheat cents. I have a 56 Denver, a 1941, no doubling, a 1939, so pre-40s, which is cool, and our 1909, which is freaking awesome. Not a VDB, but still a 1909 in that box is sweet. We have a 2021. This one has a clash die. So you can see right under Lincoln's nose and in front of his lip, it's got some clashing. Behind the head, we've got some clashing. And I was trying to see if there was anything right by the bow tie, but I don't see the words of the U or anything like that by the bow tie, but here we have that. And then of course we have our 64 Denver DDR. So that's sweet. All right, let's keep it going. Here comes Group 2's copper weigh-in. Feels normal. 386.3, so a little heavier than what we normally get. So I'll take that. Awesome. All right, let's get into Group 3. Group 3 has been hunted. Nothing crazy, but we did tie Canadians to Wheaties. For our Canadians, we have a 63 Young Head. We have a 1982, a second 1982, 1985 Blunt 5, and a 1987. For the wheat cents, we have a 1951, a 57 Denver. These should be at the beginning. 57 Denver, 1945, and a 1917. I did check it for doubling. I did not see anything, and the reverse is wicked worn. But still an early date Wheatie. 1917 on the board. Let's get into Group 4. I'll be right back to weigh up the copper. All right, we are zeroed out. To me, the copper feels a little light. But I've been wrong numerous times, so let's see. 350.2. That's average. I'll take it. All right, let's get into Group 4. Be right back. We are making our way through this box. Group 4 has been hunted. We did get a KG6. I love these. We have a 1949. Awesome. We have a 2009 Professional Life. And some Wheaties. 57 Denver. A second 57 Denver. 49 Philly. A 48 Philly. 46 Denver. And a pre-40s 1939. Let's get our Copper Cup weighed up. And we'll get into the last group, Group 5. Be right back. Let's get this copper weighed up. I'm going to say, 380. Wow, I am terrible. 333.9. Copper in the cup. All right, we have one group left. Now, I had mentioned to you guys about me holding aside the 92s, 99s, 83s, and do a hunt in the future of those. Just so you are aware, I am doing that. I have a whole bunch of 92s, 99s, 92 Denver, in 83 and 83 Denvers. We will hunt these at some point and see if we come across anything. But it is in the works. All right, let's get into Group 5. I'll be right back. Just finished up with Group 5. It was light on varieties, but a fun hunt. We'll get into that in a second. We have some Canadians. A 1972. A 1984. And a 2006. For our wheats, we have a 1950 and a 1953 Denver. We did get a super toner, pretty cool looking. 1973. I think I'm going to try to go out and pick up an album today, maybe a folder. Depends. If I pick up like 3 folders and it costs the same as like an actual album, I'll probably just pick up an album, but we'll see. But that one's cool looking. Then I have this 2023. We found one of these in a previous hunt, but if I put her under the scope, right up here in the N is a pretty nice little die crack coming through the N. So I think a nice little chip on the inside of the N. So I have that. And then this 97 with a die crack coming through the head. And then off the back of the ear. And then in front of the face is a potential strike through. Right there. Right in this area right here. It looks like a strike through. Just trying to get it so the lighting doesn't really muck it up all too much. And there's no pushed metal on the reverse. So it doesn't appear to be damage. I think that's a strike through. Minor. Nothing crazy. And then, out of those 10 rolls, we have 2 counter stamps. I have a 1983 counter stamp New York. And I wouldn't have been mad if that was the DDR. It's a clean looking coin. That would have been pretty cool with a counter stamp. But no DDR. I don't believe a DDO either. I don't know if I checked it, though. And then we have a Lincoln and Kennedy counter stamp. 1991. So that's pretty sweet. A couple little counter stamps in the hunt. I'm checking that reverse again. Let's check the obverse for any kind of... The 80th. There's a little spike head. Comes right down that way through the head. But I don't see any doubling on In God We Trust. I have yet to find one of those on an 83, a DDO. But pretty cool. Got a New York counter stamp right there. And both of those coins are in fairly decent condition. So, pretty sweet. Let's get the copper cup out. I'll be right back. Alright, we are zeroed out. I'm not going to attempt the weight. Well, maybe I'll attempt it in my head. And I'll let you know if I was right or wrong. Here's our copper. I don't know. 340. 350. I guessed. I wasn't even supposed to guess that anyway. 325. Alright. 325.1 for our copper. Let me get our better finds out, and I'll be right back with the wrap-up. All right, purely just my opinion. These are the better finds. We have our honorable mentions in the back right there. But we do have our two counter stamps, a New York and a Kennedy. My two toners, 73 and a 2018. KG6, I think that was a 45, 49, KG6. We have our 2006 DDO, still can't find which one it is. Our 2015 Best of DDO number 6 on Wexlers. And then the find for this hunt, in my opinion, is the 2009 Philly. So I think that was a very successful hunt for a one-box hunt. That was pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate thumbs up. If you have not subscribed yet, you keep coming back to watch, or maybe you get prompted to watch, please subscribe. Be sure to hit that notification bell. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the comments, for joining in. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.